Good morning, class. Of course, this morning, we have the highlight of our discussion in our health subject. Definitely, students, this is our output from the previous topic that we have discussed, particularly on the topic of smoking and alcoholism. The first lesson that we're going to discuss, of course, is about the dangers of smoking. The second is the dangers of alcohol. And both of them are the gateway to drug abuse. This morning, definitely, it is an end of our discussion, but let us perform, let us practice our discussion to a real-life situation in which we're going to have our debate this morning. So, my dear students, the statement is resolve that drinking alcoholic beverages have an effect towards self, family, community, and country. Of course, in our class, we have two themes. We have the proposition and the opposition. And we divided and we selected 6 members of the proposition and 6 members of the opposition team. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear students, these are the key points that we must have to remember as we're going to go along with our debate. Number 1, there will be 2 teams composed of the proposition and the opposition. Number 2, each team will have 1 leader and 5 members. Number 3, the topic to be discussed in this debate is resolve that drinking alcoholic beverages have an effect towards self, family, community, and the country. Our country. Number 4, each member of the team will be given 2 minutes presentation or speech delivery, which means a total of 12 minutes in each team. The rebuttal will be done after the first team had presented their speech. There will be 3 minutes rebuttal for each team. The medium to be used in the debate is English. Since this is MAPI subject, definitely we are using English as our medium of instruction. And finally, the audience will be given an opportunity to ask questions to both teams or give their comments and share their own personal points of view in regards to the topic being discussed. So, ladies and gentlemen, before anything else, I would like to present to you the panel of judges, of course, our senior English teacher, no other than Mrs. Edna Piguelos. Ma'am, okay, let's give a hand to Ma'am Guelos. Of course, another school's BRRM focal person in the person of Mr. Marvin C. Domingo. From the Department of MAPI, we have the MAPI Senior Teacher, Ma'am Antonietta. Of course, we have our recorder, Pinky Celestial, and the supporting staff. So, let's start the ball rolling. Let's start with, on my right hand, are the members of the proposition or the positive side of our topic to be discussed. On my left hand are the opposition. So let me start with the presentation of the leader and the members of the proposition.
Good morning, especially to the panel of judges. I am Charmaine Formentaro, the leader of the proposition team, and here are my members: Reyna Adombingo, Leia Hemota, Ruben Galido Jr., Jose Alcantara, and Jennifer Tabalanza.
Thank you very much, Charmaine. And of course, we have here the opposition team. Of course, let's start with the leader.
Once again,
the team.
good morning to all of us, especially to the panel of judges. So here are the members. First, I am Florita Flores, the leader. My members are Ernie Lynn Morala, Alma Binita Maningo, Giovanni Canoy, Renz Bigota, and Arzel Tabara.
Okay. So thank you very much again. Students, shall we give a hand to the opposition and the proposition teams? Thank you very much. And of course, let's start the ball rolling. Again, we will be given 12 minutes in each team. Each member of the team will be given 2 minutes for the presentation and for the delivery of their speech. And after which, we're going to have the rebuttal. Starting with the proposition team. Time starts now.
Our side is in agreement that alcoholism is good. We will begin our arguments by giving you some background of the point we are standing. The 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution banned the sale and production of alcohol in 1920, believing that all manners of society ills could be controlled or eliminated via banning spirits. Not surprisingly, prohibition generated more problems than it solved. Most notably, it gave rise to organized crime, as we know it today, or true gangs running nationwide, bootleg liquor rackets, and the like. Not to mention the medical issues brought about by people drinking ill-made, homemade liquor, or much of which was more like drinking antifreeze than whiskey. By the time the 20th Amendment repealed prohibition, the damage had been done. Archaeological evidence also suggests that the fermentation of alcoholic beverages is at least as old as civilization, dating all the way back to ancient China, Mesopotamia, and Egypt. There was never a time in recorded human history when alcohol wasn't part of our experience as a species, and history is what made us today. Here are further reasons why alcohol-related product consumption is beneficial and thus should not be restrictive to anyone most appropriate to take it.
Next speaker.
As a second speaker, social side, alcohol has more positive social effects than other drugs. It generally heightens people's sociability and opens people up. This can help bonding between neighbors, colleagues, and even enemies. Most other drugs do not have such a socially desirable effect. Proverbs 31 verse 6 to 7. The Hebrew Bible recommends giving alcoholic drink to those who are dying or depressed so that they can forget their mistakes. That will be all. Thank you.
Okay, the third speaker maybe?
As a third speaker, here are the economic side. Government raises significant revenue from taxes on alcoholic drinks.
That's right.
To ban alcohol would take away a major source of funding for public services. In addition, the effect of banning alcohol would call for additional policy on a huge scale. If the prohibition were to be enforced effectively, it would create a new class of illegal drug users, traffickers, dealers, on an unprecedented scale. Banning alcohol would put thousands out of work. Not only would banning alcohol infringe people's civil liberties to an unacceptable degree, it would also put thousands of people out of work. The drink industry is an enormous global industry. There are not good enough reason for wreaking this havoc in the world economy.
And of course, that's from the third speaker. Let's proceed to the fourth speaker.
As a fourth speaker, here are our reasons in line with culture and tradition. Because alcohol is endorsed by some tradition, thus making it a part of the life of people, and going against this practice is the same as showing no respect, in which we know that respect is the thing that governs peace in humanity. Let us be enlightened with the fact that alcohol production was Jesus' first miracle according to the Gospel of John. And the ceremonial drinking of wine is central to the Eucharist, the oldest and the most sacred Christian ceremony. Wine is a central symbol within the Christian tradition, and the Christian tradition has informed the world public policy for centuries. That's a lot of tradition to overcome.
Okay, the last, but not the least speaker, we could have rebuttal after this.
As a fifth speaker, here are the health reasons. It is medically tested that appropriate amount of alcohol in the body brings such a beneficial effect, particularly improving our cardiovascular vitality. For this reason, definitely, alcohol saves lives as according to the World Health Organization. Ischemic heart disease rated as the leading cause of death of people worldwide. The said organization explained further that right amount of alcohol in the body improves body immune system, thus making the human body more resistant to any form of illness. Again, a trusted source explained this. Our point is depriving someone to become healthy is the same thing as killing someone.
Okay.
As a weaver, everything that is too much is deadly. We will end our assertions and points with this principle towards the issue we have in debate. The point is, even loving as the most ideal thing that everyone should have if it is too much. Really too much is not good. Just take this instance, as so much love may cause obsession, which may cause jealousy, and later kills, and this is the same thing as taking alcoholic drinks. If it is too much, we can have all the negative associated with alcoholism, but if only we choose to have self-discipline or be responsible, is consuming edible alcohol-related products all day. Positives is such a great thing, perhaps a blessing for us. And the last point that we will choose the stand is that we cannot ban alcohol consumption to anyone just because there is some abusing it. Definitely, it is being unfair, and in that way, we have a very obvious injustice.
Thank you very much. Of course, we have here the proposition side. Definitely, if we're going to summarize what we have stated and delivered from their speeches, that talks about history. It talks about the biblical issues, the economic reason, the cultures and traditions, not just in the Philippines, but even in other countries. The Christian traditions, health reasons, and of course, definitely, that would be an answer to any or some of the diseases that we are experiencing nowadays. So students, before we're going to give a chance to the opposition team to debate, to ask questions, for the opinions that has been delivered to us by the proposition, let me throw first the question based on your research, based on what you have presented this morning. One of the speakers cited that it is from the source of her speech, of her message, of her idea and opinions are coming from a trusted source. So can you cite some of those trusted sources that we may be able to consider so that definitely our classmates who are here this morning can definitely do a research, can make some research for the affirmation of what we have shared. Okay, Charmaine, the group leader.
According to the World Health Organization, ischemic heart disease rated as the leading cause of death of people worldwide.
Okay, definitely, the World Health Organization is considered a trusted source because definitely we're going to rely everything, particularly that pertains to our health, that pertains to our diseases that are alarming nowadays. And the World Health Organization is an organization that we consider a trusted organization in which they have specific data, they have the specific informations regarding what is happening nowadays. So congratulations from the proposition team. Now, it's time for us to listen and to give a chance to the opposition team to give some questions or query for the opinions of the proposition team. Shall we start? We have 3 minutes for the rebuttal. And the time starts now.
According to the speaker, Catholic use wine as symbolizes the blood of Jesus. Why not use juice instead of wine?
Okay? Ruben?
Because it has a tradition.
Okay, it is considered a tradition. Some more questions that you may be able to raise? Are you amenable for the reason or for the answer of the proposition team? Some more questions to us? So if none, definitely we're going to throw to our audience, to our classmates, some of the questions that we may be able to give. Recorder, timekeeper, you still have enough time for the 3 minutes? Okay. So, from the audience, any questions that we may be able to ask to the proposition team? Questions? Yes, Valen.
Is not alcohol good for your health?
Okay. Who wants to answer?
Listen.
Is it alcohol good to our health? Yes, the team leader of the proposition team, we're going to answer.
Yes, the drinking alcoholic beverages in a moderate mode can help our health, because if you are a man with no history of alcoholism who is at moderate to high risk of heart disease, a daily alcoholic drink could reduce that risk.
Okay. So did the team leader able to answer your question, Valen? Some more questions that you may be able to raise. Okay, of course, from Christine. Christine? Okay.
Can a problem drinker or alcoholic simply cut down their drinking?
Okay. An alcoholic drinker can easily cut down their dependence from alcoholism. Mas madali ba itong mawala, maputol, ma-stops? Who wants to answer the question? Coming from also the audience. Of course, yes, we have here Julian, Rachel Ann. Dependence of alcoholism or alcoholic beverages can easily be cut down, according to the question of Christine.
While a problem drinker may be able to achieve this, a clinically diagnosed alcoholic will not be able to. It is an inherent part of alcoholism that sufferers are unable to moderate their consumption, at least in the long term.
Oh, very good. It takes time. It takes a certain process. Now, it's already time. Okay. Shall we now hear the side of the opposition team? Starting with the first speaker. Are you ready? So, first speaker, the time starts now.
First speaker, I will discuss what is alcoholism. Based on the statement, this is the one reason why alcoholic beverage has no good benefits. Alcoholic beverage is any fermented liquor such as wine, beer, or distilled spirit that contain ethyl alcohol or ethanol as an sulfating agent. A brief treatment of alcoholic beverages followed. For food treatment, see alcoholic consumption. Did you know that alcoholic beverages are fermented from the sugar and fruit, berries, grain, and such other ingredients are plant sap, sugar, honey, and milk, and may be distilled to reduce the original watery liquid to a liquid of much greater alcoholic strength. Beer is the best known member of the malt family of alcoholic beverages, which also include ale stout, porter, and malt liquor.
Okay, next for the second speaker.
As the second speaker, this is the effect of using alcoholic drinks in the society. Taking beverages is one of the problems in our country. Almost every week, there are reported cases of fist fights and murder involving drunk persons. I am worried that our country is slowly becoming an alcoholic capital. If this continues, tourism in our country will get weak. Our economy will go down and we will not be able to eradicate poverty. Drinking at inappropriate times and behavior caused by reduced judgment can lead to legal consequences such as criminal charges for drunk driving or public disorder or civil penalties for tortious behavior and will lead to a criminal sentence.
Thank you very much. Let's proceed to the third speaker from the opposition team. The time starts now.
As a third speaker, this is the effect of alcoholism in the family. Alcoholism in family can cause more damage and pain than any other external or external influence in the family unit. The impact of the drinker's abuse and addiction is usually manifested differently with each member of the family and has long-term implications. Just like a situation wherein the father is a drunkard, he cannot perform his duties and responsibilities as the head of the family. There are tendencies that he will neglect the basic needs of his family because he could not earn a living for his family. He just makes most of his time drinking alcoholic beverage with his group of friends. He tends to focus on drinking alcohol with his friends than working and taking responsibilities as a father. The role of the father in the family is very important, particularly on decision making. How can a father decide when he is drunk? In result, the children will lose their respect towards their father, and that will lead to unsatisfying and broken family.
Okay, let's proceed to the fourth speaker.
As a fourth speaker, drinking alcohol affects the body in many ways. This effect can lead to physical and mental changes that can put alcohol users and others at risk of injury and death. It can be especially harmful to the liver, the organ that metabolizes, breaks down alcohol and other harmful substances, including the brain. Alcohol can affect the parts of the brain that control movement, speech, judgment, and memory. This effect leads to familiar signs of darkness, difficulty walking, slurred speech, memory lapses, and impulsive brain behavior. Alcohol can also result in high blood pressure, which increases a person's risk of heart disease.
Okay, so shall we have the fifth speaker?
As the fifth speaker, the effects of using alcohol in your career are negative because poor performance results in work not getting done timely and efficiently. When the job is not properly performed, it has to be redone. The physical effects of alcohol on your career often manifest as withdrawals, dizziness, nausea, severe headache, and elevated blood pressure. These symptoms may occur in the workplace, resulting in adverse effects on the individual productivity. Losing one's job over alcohol abuse is simply not worth, especially when jobs are not easy to find.
Okay, shall we have the final message from the sixth speaker and the whipper of the group?
As the whipper, I therefore conclude that using alcoholic drinks is not good for us. Thus, it can only destroy our lives. As what my teammate said earlier, it can only destroy marriages, families, communities, careers, and also can affect the whole country. And you can also get severe diseases if you are using alcoholic drinks. So to sum up, alcoholic drinks can only make our lives miserable. So I'm persuading all of you not to use alcoholic drinks because it's just a destroyer. And before I will end this statement, I would like to leave a quotations about alcohol by Tracy Goodley. It says that alcohol is the perfect solvent. It dissolves marriages, families, and careers. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coming from the opposition team, of course, we have here the opinions, the ideas, and of course, coming from the different sources of the opposition team. Now, let's proceed to the rebuttal. We're given only 3 minutes for the rebuttal, and of course, the questions will be raised from the proposition team, and that will be answered by the opposition team. The time? Okay. The proposition team, are you ready? Okay. So the time for 3 minutes starts now.
So this is the questions. According to the speaker, are you sure that drinking alcoholic beverages are not good for our health?
Okay. So anybody from the group to answer the question?
Yes, because
Okay. That will lead to physical and mental changes. Now, another question that you will be able to raise.
According to the speaker, how can you say that alcoholic drinks, particularly those originally formulated from fruits, are harmful? We all know that fruits are nutritious and contribute positively for us to become healthy.
Okay, so that's the thing that we must have to consider. Anybody from the group?
yes, we all know that fruits are nutritious, but it became harmful because it is mixed with ethanol, which is used in alcoholic beverages.
Okay, the times stops. Now, it's time for us to throw the opinion and get the opinion coming from the audience and throw some questions to our audience this morning. Let me start with, we have here the opinion of both teams, from the proposition and the opposition. Can you share your stand regarding the topics being discussed? So we have Ethel.
In my opinion, drinking small amounts of alcohol is good because it has heart benefits, and 1 glass a day can make our heart stronger and may boost our memory. According to my research, alcoholic drinks can give us benefits such as it can lower our risk of cardiovascular disease, it can lengthen our life, it can improve our libido, it helps prevent against the common cold, it can decrease chances of developing dementia, it can reduce the risk of gallstones, and it lowers the chance of diabetes. In fact, the new U.S. dietary guidelines give many of us official permission to enjoy 1 to 2 drinks daily.
Okay, thank you very much. That's come from our audience. So she able to share her stand regarding the topic being discussed this morning. And to formally end up our discussion, let's have this question. In our present situation today, killings, accidents, and rape, what can you say about this in regards to the discussion of drinking alcoholic beverages? Let's have Rachel Ann.
According to Mr. Google, drug addiction is being characterized by the National Institute on Drug Abuse as a complex and chronic brain disease. People who have a drug addiction experience a compulsive, sometimes uncontrolled, able to craving for their drug of choices. Typically, they will continue to seek and use drugs in spite of experiencing extremely negative consequence as a result of using this. This should never be used as a justification to continue drinking.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, we have here the opinions coming from the proposition team, the opinions of the opposition team, and of course, the opinion of our audience. So definitely, students, it is in us how we'll be able to decide what we're going to do, what particular thread of ways that we may be able to consider as we're going to go along with this kind of habitual, shall we say, one of the activities that we may be able to encounter soon, no? Or in our present situation today that we are observing around us, within our family. We observe that one in our community. We have heard and, of course, seen that one over the radio and televisions regarding the situations of alcoholism in our society, in our country, and in the whole world general. And, of course, let us give 5 claps to the proposition team for sharing with us their opinion this morning. Ready, go! And another 5 claps for the opposition team for the substantial and information that we have heard from their research, from their own opinion, from their observations. Ready, go! And to all of us who are here this morning, for sharing our time, for sharing our ideas, and definitely sharing our minds and our hearts so that we will be able to come up with a concrete idea, a concrete learning experience this morning. Let us give 5 claps for ourselves. Ready, go! Thank you very much. Okay, let's have Ma'am Antonieta Dalisay.
Congratulations for the proposition and the opposition team of this activity. You did your best well. I appreciate the initiative of your facilitator in conducting this kind of debate so that in your level, you're going to weigh or balance what are the effects of alcohol in our health, in ourselves, in our community, and in our family. Not only the effects, but of course, the positive way where alcohol can help our health, and of course, the negative way that can alcohol distract or damage our health. That's all, and once again,
of the grade 8 Fleming, we'd like to thank our panel of judges and of course Ma'am Juna as one of our consultant with this preparations and for our presentation this morning. Hopefully students, whatever the ideas coming from the proposition and the ideas coming from the opposition, let us learn from it. Now that would be considering how we may be able to decide what are the things that we must have to prioritize, what are the things that we must have to consider in our respective lives. But because definitely we are making our own life. Even though we have learned this one from our classroom, we have heard this one, we have this concrete information regarding alcoholism, but yet the answer is still lies in our hand. Thus, we may be able to decide what is best, what is good, and what is beneficial to ourselves. To everyone, thank you very much and congratulations for a wonderful learning experience this morning. Have a nice day.